Everybody wants to sound confident until it's actually their turn to speak. One question, one unexpected moment, and suddenly your brain freezes. But according to Think Faster, Talk Smarter by Matt Abrahams, confident communication is not talent. It's a skill. And in this video, I'll show you the 6-step system that helps you think faster, speak clearly, and stay calm under pressure. Step 1, calm. Matt says the first enemy of communication is not lack of intelligence. It's anxiety. Because when pressure hits, your brain goes into survival mode. That's why your hands shake, your voice cracks, your thoughts disappear, and suddenly you forget basic words you've known your whole life. Your body thinks speaking is danger. And most people make this even worse by fighting the anxiety. They tell themselves, don't be nervous. Calm down. Stop panicking. But that creates more pressure. Matt explains something powerful. Instead of resisting anxiety, acknowledge it. Literally say, yeah, I'm nervous right now. That sounds simple, but psychologically it changes everything. Because now you stop fighting yourself. And once you stop fighting the emotion, you regain control. Now, one of the most practical tools from this chapter is breathing. Most nervous people breathe fast and shallow. That tells your body, we're in danger. But slow breathing tells your body, we're safe. Matt recommends, inhale slowly for 3 seconds. Exhale slowly for 6 seconds. That longer exhale calms your nervous system super fast. And what's crazy is, your speech slows down too. You sound calmer automatically. Another powerful idea from this chapter is reframing anxiety as excitement. Instead of saying, I'm nervous, say, I'm excited. Because biologically, excitement and anxiety are very similar. Both increase heart rate, energy, alertness. The difference is how you interpret the feeling. That mindset shift is honestly a game changer. And another underrated tip from the book, slow your movements. Because fast body movement creates fast speech. Ever seen nervous people? Bouncing legs, rushing hand gestures, talking at 2x speed. Their body reflects their panic. But when you intentionally slow your movements, your speech becomes smoother too. That's such a low-key, powerful trick. And Matt also talks about positive self-talk. Before they even start speaking, they think, I'm gonna mess up. I sound stupid. Everyone's judging me. That negative loop kills confidence. Instead, replace it with stronger thoughts. I have value to add. I've handled tough moments before. I don't need to be perfect. That's how you start calming your mind under pressure. And honestly, this first step alone can completely change the way you communicate. Step 2, unlock. This chapter completely flips how most people think about communication. Matt says, when it comes to spontaneous speaking, good enough is great. That line hits hard because most people are obsessed with sounding perfect. Perfect answers, perfect wording, perfect confidence. But real conversations are messy. People pause. People restart sentences. People forget words. That's normal. But perfectionism locks people up mentally. You become so focused on sounding smart that you stop sounding human. And the harder you try to avoid mistakes, the more awkward you become. Matt explains that spontaneous speaking is like improv. You cannot control every moment. You have to stay flexible. One of the coolest exercises from the book involves intentionally saying wrong answers during improv games. Sounds weird, right? But the purpose is powerful. It trains your brain to stop fearing mistakes. Because fear of mistakes is what freezes people. Once you become okay with imperfection, you become free. And freedom creates confidence. That's huge. Most confident speakers are not perfect speakers. They're just comfortable being imperfect publicly. That's the secret. And honestly, people connect more with authenticity than perfection anyway. Nobody likes talking to a robot. People like real energy, real personality, real emotion. So instead of asking, how do I sound perfect? Ask, how do I sound real? That mindset changes everything. Step 3, redefine. This might be one of the deepest chapters in the book. Matt explains that most people see communication as performance. That's the problem. Because performance creates pressure. You start thinking, How do I look? What if I fail? What if they judge me? Everything becomes self-focused. But Matt says communication should be redefined as connection. That's a massive shift, because when your goal becomes helping, connecting, or sharing value, your anxiety drops. Think about it. When you help a friend with advice, you probably speak naturally. Why? Because you're not trying to impress them. You're focused on helping them. That's exactly how confident communicators think. They stop obsessing over themselves and start focusing on the audience. This is why some people suddenly become confident while teaching, helping, or storytelling. Their attention shifts outward. And honestly, that's one of the biggest secrets to charisma. Charismatic people make others feel important, not themselves. That's why confidence is not about domination. It's about presence. Another powerful lesson from this chapter is this. People remember how you made them feel more than the exact words you said. That's facts. Nobody remembers every sentence from conversation, but they remember energy, emotion, confidence, authenticity. And once you understand that, communication becomes less scary, because now you stop chasing perfection. You start chasing connection. Step 4, listen. Now this chapter is underrated like crazy. Most people think communication is about talking. Wrong. Communication is mostly listening. And great communicators listen differently. Most insecure people spend conversations rehearsing their next line. They're not even listening. They're just waiting for their turn to speak. That creates awkward conversations because responses feel fake and disconnected. But confident communicators stay present. They actually pay attention. And because of that, their responses feel natural. Matt explains that listening gives you something powerful. Time. When you truly listen, your anxiety decreases. Your brain relaxes. Your responses become easier. Conversations flow naturally. And honestly, people love feeling heard. That's why charismatic people are usually great listeners. They ask thoughtful questions. They react genuinely. They stay curious. Instead of trying to impress everyone, they try to understand people. That's a huge difference. Another important lesson here is stop mentally scripting conversations, because real conversations are unpredictable. If you try to control every sentence, you'll panic the moment something changes. Instead, trust yourself to respond naturally. That's real confidence. And honestly, some of the best conversations happen when you stop trying so hard. Step 5, structure. Now this chapter is insanely practical. One reason people ramble under pressure is because they have no structure. Their thoughts are everywhere. And when your brain gets overwhelmed, your words become messy too. So Matt explains that structure acts like a roadmap. And when you have a roadmap, you stop panicking. One of the simplest structures from the book is, what so what now what? Meaning, what happened? Why does it matter? What should happen next? Simple, but crazy effective. You can use this structure in interviews, presentations, school answers, meetings, storytelling, basically everywhere. For example, what happened? Sales dropped this month. So what? That affects our growth and creates pressure on the team. Now what? We need better marketing and stronger communication. Boom. Clear, structured, confident. And here's the cool part. Structure automatically makes you sound smarter. Even simple ideas feel intelligent when they're organized clearly. Step 6, focus. This final step might be the most important for modern communication. Because today, everybody talks too much. People think sounding smart means using complicated words, long explanations, endless details. But Matt explains something powerful. Clear communication beats complicated communication. Every single time, great communicators focus on one main idea, not 10, because audiences don't remember everything you say. They remember the core message. That's why powerful speakers are concise. They don't ramble endlessly trying to sound intelligent. They get to the point. And honestly, that's rare nowadays. Attention spans are cooked. If you waste too much time, people mentally check out. So focus matters. Matt also explains the importance of removing filler words like, like, and one trick he gives is genius. Finish your sentence completely until you're out of breath. Because filler words usually happen while people are half breathing and half thinking. But when you fully complete sentences and pause naturally, your speech sounds cleaner and more confident. And here's something important. Silence is not awkward. Confident people pause. They let ideas breathe. But nervous people rush because they fear silence. That's why slowing down instantly makes you sound more confident. And another key lesson from this chapter, focus on value, not showing off. A lot of people speak just to sound smart. But the best communicators speak to make ideas understandable. Huge difference. At the end of the video, confidence is not about sounding perfect. It's about staying present even when you feel pressure. So next time life puts you on the spot, don't panic. Breathe. Slow down. Trust yourself. Because the more you practice speaking under pressure, the faster you'll think, and the smarter you'll talk. And tell me, which step of this book hit you the hardest? In the comments section. And if this video helped you even a little, hit subscribe and join the journey.